Hi, I'm Oni, and I'm part of two IIT alumni who post daily videos on math and physics on our YouTube channel, Mathophy. Let's get started with our JE problem. So today we'll be doing questions on electromagnetic induction. Now this is a very important chapter. Like I said in my previous video, this is a very important chapter for your competitive JE mains, JE advanced, NEET, everything. And this kind of has two types of problems you'll face. One is the numerical based, and the other more common type, but the one that is much more scoring, is where you just need to find the direction. So you need only one fundamental concept to solve a lot of the questions of electromagnetic induction, and that is Lenz's law. So this here is also a problem of Lenz's law. Now in this question it says that a small bar magnet M passes through a circular coil with a constant speed as shown. Which of the following diagrams represents the possible variation of the EMF E induced in the coil as a function of the time t? Then you have the coil, you have the magnet which is moving towards the coil in this direction. Now you have done the Fleming's left hand, Fleming's right hand rule. I would suggest you not to go for that. Instead, always stick to Lenz's law. It may seem a little difficult in the beginning, but as time passes and you get better at it, it's much better for your competitives. So let's start with what happens here. When this magnet is brought closer, let's give it a polarity. In the beginning, this magnet has a, say for instance, a south pole here and a north pole over here. So when this magnet is brought closer to the solenoid, because the south pole is coming closer, the solenoid develops a south pole on this end. As it goes inside, after that, when it tries to come out from the other side, when the magnet is trying to come out, now remember in the original case, south pole formed here, north pole was formed here. When it is coming out of here, when the magnet has gone through the entire solenoid and coming out, so now you have the north pole closer to this and the south pole away from the solenoid. Now a north pole receding away from the solenoid, the system will try to pull this back. So now the solenoid will develop a south pole here and a north pole here. The south pole so that it can attract the north pole and oppose the motion. So now you can see that when the magnet was coming towards the solenoid, you had a south pole in this side and a north pole here. When the magnet is going away, when it has gone through it and going out of the other side, then it develops a south pole here and a north pole here. So the polarities are reversed. So can you understand, if polarities are reversed, obviously the current will have to be, the current directions and the EMF directions will have to be reversed. So there's only one graph here that gives me a positive and negative value of EMF. Remember, positive negative value of EMF means two different directions of EMF. So there's only one option here that accounts for that, two different directions of EMF. So this is our correct option. Let's move on to the next sum. This sum is a pretty straightforward sum, but I'll tell you a few more variations that are possible with this sum. So it says that an infinitely long conducting cylindrical rod is kept with its axis along the positive z-axis. There exists a uniform magnetic field B directed along the positive z-axis. The direction of the current induced in the cylinder will be. So let's draw out our diagram. So you have a cylinder. I'm assuming this is the positive z-axis, and you also have the magnetic field in this direction along the same positive z-axis. So now here in this question I can directly say that the answer is going to be 0. How can I say that? Because this is just a cylindrical rod kept in a magnetic field. There is no motion, and as you know, without a motion you cannot have a magnetic force, you cannot have any current induced. There has to be either a change of magnetic field or a motion of the conductor. Since there is neither in this case, so the option is obviously going to be 0. If it is given with a perpendicular, then you will have to do it with Lenz's law, or you can do it with the Hall effect formula where the electrons move to one side or the other. So if this conductor is suppose moving top or bottom, then you will have the electrons and protons pushed in the other sides and you'll develop a voltage. The third way this can come is if this is moving along the z-axis. So in a uniform magnetic field, moving along the z-axis will again give it 0 because there is no change in magnetic flux. But if there's a changing magnetic flux, then in this such a situation, since it's not a solenoid, you will rather be developing eddy currents. If it's a variable magnetic field and if this is moving, then you will have eddy currents develop within it. But in our problem, there's no motion, there's nothing happening, there's no change in magnetic flux, so the current induced will be 0. So correct option is 0. Let's move on to the next one. So in this question they said that two circular coils can be arranged in any of the three situations shown in the figure. The mutual inductance will be. So we have to find in which case the mutual inductance is maximum. Now a way to understand how to measure mutual inductance is to see in which case the flux linkage is maximum. So we have the three situations here. Let's draw out the magnetic field of the larger larger loop. So you know the magnetic field lines go like this and like this over here from here. So over here we can see that a lot of the lines cut through this loop, through the smaller loop. So hence you have some flux linked over here. But in this case, if you see that magnetic field lines that travel like this, and in this case magnetic field lines that travel like this, in the second case and in the third case, in both the cases the magnetic field lines are grazing along this area, so they are not cutting through the area. This is the case where the magnetic field lines are cutting through the area. So here flux linkage is maximum, here it is very less. Same thing here, since it's almost parallel to it, it's very less. So since flux linkage is maximum here, mutual inductance will be maximum in this case. So our correct option is option number 1. So all three sums that we did today, those were involved with more of a conceptual basis. So just goes to show that all three sums were from IIT, from your IIT, it was IIT JEE examinations back then. So you can see that just with clear concepts you can answer most of the questions even in your IIT JEE examinations. There are of course a few more difficult questions, more conceptual questions with multiple layers, and we'll take up those questions in the next video when I post, where I'll be doing electromagnetic induction problems of multiple levels and of a higher difficulty level. So we'll see you again in that video. Until then, goodbye. Like, comment and subscribe to our YouTube channel Mathify for your daily dose of math and physics.